Good morning, everyone. Today we have Anand Raj from Eat Raja. So, can you tell us more about yourself?
Hi, Khushi. Hi, Satish. Thank you so very much. My name is Raja. I call myself a waste engineer and I run India's first zero waste juice bar, Eat Raja, which started at Malleshwaram. Now it's there in Vivipuram and also in Vijayawada and shortly coming to Jayanagar as well. So what we do at Eat Raja is we are known as a cafe that serves juices only inside of a fruit or a vegetable shell. In the last 1,238 days, that is including today, not a single day have I given any juice inside of a paper cup, plastic cup, or a glass jar. All of our juices are served inside of a fruit shell, and that makes it very unique. Not just that, our juices are amazing, but they're even more good looking. They're Instagram worthy, Snapchat worthy, and all of that. So first people come and digitally consume our juices and then they consume it physically. Because the juices are so good looking, the first thing that they do is click pictures, upload it, and then drink and say, chanagide, chanagide. So that's how they become very famous because of social media. And true to our name, Eat Raja, you can also eat many of our juices, as in the guava juice, which is the really famous one, which is called chili guava. 80% of our revenue comes from that because everybody, whoever comes first, they say chili guava. And then they go for the other juices. So you drink the juice and you eat the fruit as well, which means that after you drink and after you eat the fruit, what's left in your hand? Nothing at all. And that's exactly what our concept is, zero waste. So what we do every time we sell the juice is educate people on how one can go completely litter free, where you don't need dustbins at all. You drink the juice, you eat the fruit, you look at your hand. What's there in your hand? Nothing. No waste generated. Zero waste cafe. So we have about 6 different juices in that variety which you can eat. And if you can't eat any of those fruit juices like watermelons or muskmelons or papaya, you can't eat the shell of it. So that we feed it to the cow, ensuring there is a EPR, that is extended producer responsibility. So we take responsibility for the waste that anybody generates, making sure that there is no waste generated at the end. We go and feed it to the cow. 80% of our fruit waste that comes out of our cafe, that's the only waste that comes out of our cafe, goes to becoming cow feed. And if it doesn't become cow feed, it becomes cobra, manure, or it also becomes bioenzymes in case of citrus peels, like your lemons, your musambis, orange, pineapple, chakota. All of these are citrus, so we make bioenzymes, we make cleaners out of it. Then we also make very exciting things like soaps and candles from the waste that we generate at Eat Raja. You know what? All this is very nice in my flowery language, but you should check out some of the pictures on my Instagram handle, eat.raja. Still better if you can come down to experience it yourself at my cafe. That's a short, a little lengthy introduction about myself.
No, sir, that's totally fine. Sir, so how did you get an idea of getting a zero waste juice bar?
Garbage. What else? That actually got me excited. And a pile of garbage, I couldn't fathom this. I can't, I have this OCD kind of a thing to see all the garbage piled up and nobody cleared it. I said, like, why the hell are people creating this mess if they can't clear it? That's my question. So in my cafe, when you come, you can call me like a Hitler of waste management because I won't allow you to make any waste. I mean, I won't allow you to generate waste. You come and eat my chili guava. Show me there is any waste that is generated other than the small, tiny bit of it. No. So you have no other way. It's only my way. You come to my cafe, I will not allow you to generate any waste. And that's how I say it. So a pile of garbage actually outside my shop every now and then, I used to see like, oh my God, it's such a mess. And humans are so horrible. We create the mess and we don't generate, we don't clear it. And then we end of it, we leave it for these animals to come and scatter it everywhere. And there's so much of visual pollution as well. I was not a great fan of that. I said, okay, let me do something. I've done my engineering from such a reputed college, BMS College of Engineering in Baswangudi. I said, have some respect to that. 4 years of my life I've spent over there. If I haven't learned anything, why should I call myself as an engineer? I did my mechanical engineering for the first 3 semesters. Then I went on to do medical electronics engineering. But I proudly call myself as a waste engineer these days because you throw waste at me and I'll make it into another product. So that's what a waste engineer does. Waste engineering. It should not just be transported from point A to point B. It's not like, Khushi throws some garbage out of her house and somebody comes and, pushes it to Satish's house. So that is waste management or waste transportation. That is exactly what we are doing here in Bangalore. All the output of the waste that Bangalore generates goes to some village like Mandur outside of Bangalore, and it gets into a landfill over there. Why should poor villagers of a village who have no clue and they have not contributed for this mess that we Bangaloreans generate pay for it? Pay for it by their, toxic waste that is being generated. So it's high time that we all Bangaloreans get together and own up for that mess that we are creating. So generate less garbage, which means that you don't have enough to transport it elsewhere. And that's exactly what Eat Raja is doing. We are making sure that the waste is not generated, and we also make sure that the waste is made sure that is engineered into another product. From the only fruit waste that we generate, we make bioenzymes, soaps, paper, whatnot. It's a marvel. And I feel extremely proud and very happy that 1,238 days today, we haven't used any single-use disposable, be it paper cup, plastic cup, straw. We don't parcel our juices, although now, because of this pandemic, we have started giving it in bottles, maybe sometimes. But otherwise, and we don't sell pet water bottles. We don't give you tissues. And, you should come out, check out one of my latest posts, which is really funny. I have a very witty way of presenting things there. So outside my shop, I have I use a slate to convey my messages. And yesterday's message said, like, ನೀವು ಡಾನ್ಗೆ ಕಾಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, MLAಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, or ಬಂದೂಕ್ ತೋರಿಸಿದ್ರು, Kila, nan tissue koda, killa. So we have a very funny way of putting things. So this is like this, if you people don't come and smile at some of the boards that we have, what's the point of having come to my shop? I'm not here to educate people on, of course there are serious issues, but with a little bit of, comedy angle to it. So I come from a very different kind of a background. So if I have to say, I will say it in a very witty way that it should appeal to people and they should feel nice about it. And a little chuckle and say, this guy is crazy, man. He's doing something nice. You might probably follow it and might not, but you'll never forget that, this guy was doing it in a very different way. And that's what I would want people to do. So, yeah, that's what we do. And this pile of garbage motivated me to come this far. And I would take it beyond this as well.
Sir, so can you talk about your struggle and how did you overcome it over time?
Honestly, Khushi, the struggle part of it was not while we were putting up this cafe, but the struggle is now, I feel many times, there are lots of problems, right? I mean, if you're an entrepreneur, like I was never really planned to be an entrepreneur. I just became an entrepreneur while I was doing it. I didn't have a choice. I was actually in a very good job, a very luxurious job, a job that a lot of people aspire to be, a radio jockey. Every day meeting people like A.R. Rahman, Alia Bhatt, and all those, big people from the film industry. It's a very nice thing, to rub shoulders with them, party with them and all of that. But this job is not like that, unless you are really committed. So I had to quit my job. And after my dad passed away, I had to come to my small shop, which is not very fanciest places of the world to work. So I had to work with waste, pick up the garbage, clean everything, wash utensils. It's a lot of hard. Not many people might be interested in doing it, but then if it gets you fame, why not? People are now interested to do anything that can get them to, be there. You never know. I might be there in Big Boss next because they might like my concept. This guy is crazy. Let's get him. So you have to be a little different, right? So the struggles actually started in the very initial days was what I was trying to do. So the first set of customers who came, I started serving watermelon first. I cut the watermelon, scooped out the fruit, made the juice, poured inside of that, and I gave it. And I first made my mom to test it, and she started laughing. Are you crazy? Are you really going to serve it like this? I said, yeah, I'm going to do this. And they better buy it. If they don't want to buy it, I'm not going to give them the juice, is what I said. You can't be doing this. And I did it. So I told my customers who came, if at all you want watermelon, I'm going to serve it only inside fruit. If you want, take it. Otherwise, go. He said, you're wrong. Come on, boss. Don't you know customer is king? And then, yes, you are right. Customer is king. You know what my name is? I'm Raja. I'm the king. I was wittily saying this to so many people. And just like this, a lady who came who laughed. Okay, you're really crazy. I'm yeah, I am. So now you better buy this juice because you have to prove that, when are you going to support an entrepreneur? It is my own indigenous effort. So drink it and nothing. Nobody is going to die because of this. Because of you, there is no generation of waste. And I told him, after you're done with this juice, you know what? In your name, I'm going to feed this to the cow. My shop happens to be between two temples. A lot of people who are coming there are, generally very nice people, who are God-fearing people, and they believe that. So I told him, hey, you know what? After you're done with your juices, what do I do with the fruit shell? I'll feed it to the cow, which means that because of you, a cow got some food, which means that you will get a lot of blessings. Oh, yeah, good. Honestly, it is really good job.
Yeah.
So when they realize it, so it's important that they should understand why, what this guy is doing and how is it going to help anybody. So they realize that, great, I got a juice inside of a natural fruit shell, and it was yummy, it was good, and it is very natural. And I drank, I gave a totally different feeling. Just imagine drinking it from a paper cup, plastic cup, and into a fruit shell. It's like, oh, wow. Automatically, your face becomes so happy. And then you look at it, it's very rejuvenating. That's why, see, when I do an interview, I'll be between the plants and all. It gives a totally different feel than a concrete background, right? So all these are therapeutic. And I strongly feel that, the way how you present things makes a lot of difference. Initially, I found it very difficult to convince them to drink it from the fruit cup because they were a little hesitant because nobody had ever done it in India before. They were like, okay, is it clean? Is it nice? I hope nothing's going to happen to me. Like, don't worry, if at all you die, I'll make a big statue of yours and put it out there. So it's crazily, arguing with people like this. But I was good at convincing because of the language that I already had. I mean, I'm a polyglot. I speak all languages. The first thing I asked them, oh, where are you from? Oh, Kannada, oh, Tamil, Telugu. Whatever language they were speaking, I used to get to that language and start speaking to them. And that, I think, was a way to get into their heart. So luckily, in the initial couple of days, I did see some struggle. The interesting part of it came later, okay? After my, juices became viral and there was some time, I think they had run out of fruit shell. So I started serving, I had to serve inside of a glass jar. And they said like, what? Glass jar? No, we don't want. We have heard that you serve only inside of a fruit. I will wait for half an hour if you want, but I want it only inside of a fruit. And today's date, I'm talking about after 1,238 days, people come to my shop not to have juices in that, glass jar or something, but they want to have it only inside of a fruit because that is what is told by other friends of them and that is what they have seen. So if I ever make this mistake, they're going to kill me. So many times people come, no, we have come only for the fruit. You better hit me in that. So now I feel extremely happy. But the journey from that day till day has been extremely fruitful. And initial couple of days, it was a little difficult. Now also I find it difficult sometimes when people come and ask for tissues. When they come and say, can I get it in a glass? And that shocks me sometimes. Like, hello, you're here at Eat Raja. You will not find glass cup and all. You better drink it in this. And then friends quickly they nudge and say, hey, you haven't seen his videos. And I'm like, okay, people are there to market my product. Now I'll be happy. So that way, I'm very happy. And many times people ask me, why not tissues? So I have to go through the entire story of why we don't give tissues. And we are a vegan juice bar. We don't use milk. So people ask me, oh, you don't use milk? I never knew about it. And then say, yeah, we don't use milk. So there are many things people still do not know. So every time I'm there at my shop, I'm never selling my juices. I'm only selling a concept. So I feel very happy. So what I do at Eat Raja is sell a concept and not a juice. If you were to really drink juice, you can sit at home and make it and drink it to your glory. 1 liter, 2 liter. What is the reason? Why are you coming to Eat Raja? It's for an experience. And of course, to meet me and take selfie with me as well. So that is how we have created an experience. Visiting Eat Raja should be an experience for you. I haven't seen 80% of the people who come there, order for the juice. They wait 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Once the juice comes, like, oh, so nice, no? Let's take photo. They take selfie. It took an average of about 8 seconds to first sip the juice. Because first they're busy taking pictures and putting it on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, everywhere else. So that makes me feel extremely happy. I've gifted them graphical memories of whatever the time that they have spent. Going forward 10 years, 15 years later, when they look back or when they pass by Eat Raja, they say, hey, you know what, this place, I had my juices instead of the fruit. And that makes me feel happy. So the struggle is worth it is what I feel because I am giving them something which is an experience of a lifetime.
Yes, sir. I hope a lot of them learn from you or get educated from you. So, sir, like, what exactly is like the vision and mission of like Eat Raja? Like your
Okay,
vision.
so definitely. So, right when I started Eat Raja, I had no clue what I was doing. All that I knew was, I cannot give any more paper or plastic waste, so I'm going to do something different. At that point of time, honestly, 1,238 days ago, I hadn't thought that I would even survive. So me and my mom were decided. So July 19th, 2019 was a day when we had only 50 rupee business, only 50 rupees, and we had one staff. Me and my mom are thinking, how do we pay this guy's, per day salary? We haven't even made that kind of money. And today, I'm talking about setting up Eat Raja franchises all over, not just Karnataka, outside of Karnataka, and hopefully shortly across other countries as well. And that's the kind of a vision that I have now. Now I'm very clear. I know what I'm headed to. Definitely looking at having multiple outlets of Eat Raja everywhere, because what we are trying to address is with a solution for the global menace of garbage. And we haven't produced any garbage in the last 1,238 days. That makes us super confident that no matter what, wherever we go, the only thing that we are going to be doing is zero waste. That is, we don't generate waste. Who wouldn't want someone to be in their country who does not generate any? We create jobs, we promote sustainability, and it's innovation all the way. So right now, we are at Malleshwaram, we are at Vivipuram, and shortly, like in a week, we are going to be opening in Jayanagar. And we already have expanded outside of Karnataka. We are there at Vijayawada, and many other outlets we discussed, Chennai, Pune, many places we have already done. But, two pandemics we have survived. In between, whenever we were about to start, then the pandemic hits us and we had to shut down, or the process gets delayed. But now I feel that we are pandemic ready even for the third and the fourth wave. So we have learned a lot from the first two waves. No matter what, we will go ahead and we will start expanding. And that's our vision. And the mission right now is to start one outlet every month. Let's see if we are going to be able to do it. Whether pandemic hits us or not, we are going to go keep doing it. So my next set of cafes, I've even planned it in the hospitals, because everywhere else the lockdown could be there. Hospitals won't have a lockdown, right? And where else do you want really good, nutritious, zero-waste juices? In the hospital. Because ever since the pandemic has hit us, hospitals have become the number one generators of waste. Imagine the number of, the PPE kits or suits or even the tissues. A lot of garbage, a lot of clinical waste that is being generated. So, and I feel it's a perfect place for us to put up our cafe, which does not generate any waste. So, any hospital that's willing to, be partnering with us, I'll be more than happy.
Yes, sir. So, like, what makes you think that Eat Raja is different from like other juice centers?
In every aspect, it's different. Right from the word Eat Raja. Who will name a juice center like Eat Raja? Many people have come and asked me, what is this? It's a very weird name. And if you look at it, I'm a very intelligent person. I have a very planned approach to everything. If you look at my logo also, it has partly in English and partly in Kannada. The very name and the logo should make you think, why is this guy using part English and part Kannada? What does that mean? There must be some story behind it. If I have not made you think like that, then I am a total failure. So right from the word, right from the logo, it is different. The reason why we have two letters is it will help you question, reason, which means that every time you look at the brand, you think, what is this Eat Raja? And why is this guy calling it as Eat Raja when he's serving juices? So that means that I have already increased your reasoning power. You're not a lame person. You're not just going to, we are no more those Indians who are taking orders. It ended on 15th of August, 1947. So you need to question anything that comes. Why? Why is it called Eat Raja? What is it that you're serving inside of chili and guava? How can you put chili and guava together? Does it hurt me? Is it going to burn my stomach? We have increased the reasoning power of every customer who comes, because nobody just lamely takes it. When I serve cucumber lime, they ask me, what is this cucumber lime? Can I eat this? What have you added inside this? Is it sweet? Is it? The number of words we exchange, nowhere else in any other juice center will you talk to the guy like that. He'll say mango, you will get mango, and you are ninyaro, nanyaro, that's it. Your relationship ends there. Not at my juice center. When we serve our avocado mango. They come and ask me, avocado mango? What does that mean? I say, we mix avocado and we mix mango. Oh, is it? Do you put sugar inside that? If you want, I can put. If you don't want, I'll use ripe mango. You don't need to add sugar. Butterfruit has got good fat. Mango is seasonal flavor, fantastic. No sugar added if you don't want it. Fantastic. How do you serve it? You serve it inside of the avocado shell. Damn it! Do you really serve it inside of it? I don't believe it. I'll make you believe it. Take it and I serve it inside of a... one of the most fragile cups would be the avocado shell. It's not very easy to make. And that is why I spent 4 years of engineering, learning to see how one can hold on to a cup. If anybody comes and asks me, you wasted your engineering, Raja, I tell them no. Whatever I learned during my first year of engineering, how to make, sheet metal work and what we did in smithy, wood turving, carving, all those things that I learned in engineering, I applied all through my everyday life, not just in my work, everyday life. So I apply all of that in every aspect of it, right from the words that I use, the colorful, boards that I use. If you come to Eat Raja, you will see that, we don't print. The very idea of blackboard, and for your understanding for an entrepreneur, it's very important. If you don't learn from your mistakes, who else will? The blackboard is so significant of that. I keep my blackboard because I write everything. I make my mistake, I rub it and I erase it and I go back to correct myself. If you are an entrepreneur, be ready to accept these things. You did a mistake? Fine, no issues. No entrepreneur comes with a set of, a bunch of successes. You have to go through failures to get to where you are. So that blackboard is always a constant reminder for me that yes, I have a chance to go back and correct myself. And the board is very significant. When we were kids, we started off with that, right? We used to write on a blackboard and we were wrong, we erased it. Does life give you another chance to do that? No. But blackboard does. So I go back, erase it and I write it. And it's so expressive for me. Whatever I want, I can write it on the board. So I use that. So that's a very different thing. So we don't have a typical board where, everything is pre-printed and painted and it's so static. No. So we use a blackboard so that we can keep changing our menu every now and then. Our menu also changes every now and then. I use a lot of colors, pink, green, yellow, like when we write chili, guava. So I write my chili in green color chalk and guava in pink. Just to tell, that's the color associated with the chili and a guava, right? So it just takes a little bit of second when you think about it, like, damn, man, this guy is paying attention to even the smallest thing. This guy is awesome. And then I say, yes, I am. That is what is making me what I am today. If I'm not proud about myself, how can anybody else be proud about the product that we have put it out there? It comes with a lot of thought behind every single thing, the smallest things also. And that makes us very, very different. Which juice center will you go to where you have been asked to make your own juices? No, right? You come to my shop, I will show you the mixie and I say, you sit on it and you pedal, you make the juices, but please pay me and go. This is how I boldly go and tell people. And right in the face, I'm not cheating people. I'm telling you that I'm taking money for the work that I'm asking you to do. If you think about it, then you go back and this guy is a smart entrepreneur. He made me do the juices. He didn't do anything. He saved electricity. But then he's charging me the money for the juice. Damn, man. But he gave me an experience totally unparalleled. You will never get this kind of an experience in any other ordinary juice bar because the other juice bars only sell juices. They don't sell an experience. Whereas at Eat Raja, every time you come, it has to be an experience. There should be a takeout from visiting Eat Raja. Not that you came, had juice and you scooted off. If you don't get to learn something, if you don't realize that, it was an awesome time spent, then I am a total failure. That way, every aspect of it has to be different, will be different, and mark this in gold.
Yes, sir. Have you received any rewards or being recognized for being the first juice bar where there's zero waste?
I wish some, coronatory awards are being given, like, Nobel Prize is too far-fetched though. But yeah, you never know. Maybe one day I would get if I do a lot of my innovation. Definitely, I am looking at a few awards. Nothing to speak so of that I can, proudly say, hey, I got this award for myself. But I feel that every person who comes and, there are like kids who come. And they're extremely excited to see that. And parents come and get their kids like, what, at this place you get this. So I think the joy, that excitement that a family comes together to share is a big reward if I were to say it in a very philosophical way. But I'm not going to shy away from saying, yes, I need some awards because I feel the kind of work that we are doing, not any other juice bar does. And I wouldn't be the guy to shy away if anybody is giving me an award because I think these kind of green projects, green startups should be encouraged because if I don't see, that is where if I do and if I don't get recognized, it's a failure. And if I get recognized, there are 10 other people who say, hey, this guy did it. I think we should also do it. How else would you, spread this? How else would you motivate other person to, get started on their own? So I honestly feel I'm due for a few awards too. Yeah, I'm hopefully going to get it shortly. I'll be very happy to receive.
Yes,
I'm being honest about myself. So honest work that I've done. So, and I feel very happy and proud actually every day. 1,238 days. Ask anybody who has done business without offering a single piece of straw, not giving tissues. Every single day I make up my mind. Today, no straw, no tissue. You come and ask me, I will not give it to you. Who has this kind of a composure to go and say it every day? You can break in very easily. Oh, one day, no, it's okay. Let's keep it off. No, I have not done it. And I won't do it too. It's a unique record that I hold and I'm so proud. I wouldn't let anybody else break my record just because you're suffering. Nobody asked you not to get hankies. You get your hanky. That's what my Ajji, Tata, Appa, Amma did. They were carrying hankies. All of a sudden, some Western culture came and they started using tissues because they used to rub their ass off with that. And we have started using it here. And I totally against it. Like, no way. We are not going to be doing that. So let's use handkerchiefs. Let's use reusables. And that's what our tradition and culture was. All we need to is just go back in time. Ask Ajji, Tata what they were doing. Ask Mommy, Papa what were they doing. Just go back in time, start doing the same thing. That's it. Reusables.
So, if any of us want to be an entrepreneur, what would be your advice to them?
Like I said, the first thing you have to be really ready to do. No entrepreneur can do anything without a lot of hard work. Lots of initial failures. Motivation is going to be so less. So you have to be really motivated to do things. Of course, now with a lot of corporates, and there are lots of programs where there are incubators, and there are many people, mentors are there who, help people to, go through those phases, and of course, funding, and all of these things are there. But an entrepreneur, if they don't believe in the idea that they have, that if they themselves don't believe it, nobody else can. Like if you ask me how happy am I about my product, I'm like super happy. I'm like, wow, I've done something awesome. So I feel very happy and confident about it. So I go to tell this to 10 other people and there is no, not even an iota of doubt that, oh, I think I'm doing something wrong. No way. Because whatever I'm doing, I'm so super confident about it. I've done a good R&D of, okay, if I use plastic, this is what is going to happen. That is the reason why I'm not using it. Oh, milk, no way, because this is the reason. It is hurting environment because the animal is being forced to give milk. No way will I do that. Tissue, I will never give. Who asked you not to carry handkerchiefs? Nobody, right? So who asked you to get tissues? Somebody else came and said, and you will follow it. My Ajji, Tata, Grand Tata and all, they were using only handkerchiefs. Start doing that now. That's it. So if I have a product that is so fantastic and if I'm so confident about it, there is no doubt that I will feel, oh my God, what do I do about this? So entrepreneurs need to be very, very, very passionate. If you don't have passion about what you're doing, then it's very difficult. You can't get borrowed passion from somewhere else. So you should be, you should have that fire in your belly. Damn it, man, I got to do it and show it. And that fire, I think I have a lot in me. So that keeps me going. So every entrepreneur, be ready. There's a lot of struggle, but at day one when I started, there were hardly anybody to take my juices. There was a day when I made only 50 rupees. 1,238 days from that day. Today, I make lots of money. Of course, I've become super famous. This wouldn't have been possible had I not stuck through. You have to support yourself and you need to stay focused. Like, this is what I was set out to do. This is what I will do. No compromise.
Okay, nice to hear that, sir. Do you have any goals that you want to achieve in the future? Like upcoming?
My goal has always been like, my goals keep changing. Like August 15th, I wanted to give digital freedom to my shop. As in, I wanted everybody to pay money only digitally. It backfired. Many people you guys are all college students, right? And I was told that, 18 and under, they can't have their, phone pay or Paytm or any wallet being associated. So how will you, if they want to have juices, how will you pay them? How can they pay? So there were many questions like this, and there were many people who don't have a smartphone where they use all these kind of wallets. So how will they allow them to pay? So that was a little bit of a challenge for me. I failed over there, but then I said, okay, I'm going to tempt people with a little bit of discounts now. So now I say, if you pay by cash, it is 50 rupees for my juice, but if you pay digitally, it's 2 rupees less. And I'm also coming up with a rap song for that. How awesome can that be? So that shows the kind of interest that I want people to understand why I'm doing what I'm doing. So now I have a quick song that I have made ready. It's very, it originated around this Varamahalakshmi Habba. So Varamahalakshmi means everybody talks about money. Lakshmi means money, wealth, prosperity. And I said like, okay, don't be a fool. You can save money by doing digital payment. So I tell them, Bhagyada Lakshmi Baramma. Adu haledaitu. Bankalliro Lakshmi Ulisamma. Cash ali kottare 50 rupees, 50 rupees, 50 rupees, digital pay madu 2 rupee less. I keep telling that. So if you pay digitally 2 rupee less, when you show them the angle of how they can save money, who isn't going to be excited? And when you have a very enterprising guy like me putting it through a rap song and all, obviously it has to drive down. Whether they like the concept or not, they will talk about it, and they at least whisper them and say that this guy is doing amazing. If you pay digitally, 2 rupee less. So cashally pay madu 50 rupees, digitally pay madu 2 rupee less. So isn't it right?
Yes.
So this is how I do.
Oh, thank you, sir. We really had a great time talking to you. I would love
Thank
to
you so very
visit.
much.
I would love to visit Eat Raja, and I feel the people watching this also feel the same.
Yes.
And do you have anything to tell us or add on?
That's it. Follow me on eat.raja on Instagram. That's where I live my life every single day, doing a lot of crazy stuff. And yeah, anybody who wants to do anything that's with zero waste, most welcome. Eat Raja is a place. I feel it's more like a lab where you can experiment a lot with sustainability and green ideas. Most welcome. And thank you so much, Satish and Khushi. I hope you had a great time. A good start for your day.
Yes, sir.
So, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you
Thank me for making your day.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Any other questions you want to ask me?
No, sir.
No, sir. I think we had a great time. Thank you so much for your
No.
time. You've been busy.
Now we'll understand it better when we visit you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, when you come there, then you'll say, okay, whatever this guy said makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
So you'll actually love the place when you come, and when you experience it, you'll feel even better. So most welcome. Come to Eat Raja.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank